He has a billionaire for a father. He could have anything he wants. He could buy 100 houses or maybe restaurants. But he started a wrestling company and it's on TV. And this week it only got 502,000 views. Maybe Tony Khan should end himself. Maybe it's not worth the embarrassment. And if he must keep on pretending that it's awesome, he just might have to run away from it all. Maybe Tony Khan should end himself. Maybe Tony Khan should end himself before he kills someone else.
Should end himself. Maybe Tony Khan should end himself.
Maybe Tony Khan should end himself. Maybe it's not worth the embarrassment. And if he must keep on pretending that it's awesome,
Mixed views, ready to bite. Never said you're sorry cause you've always been right. Tell me I'm right every Saturday night. You drink too much and you wanna fight. All my life, hold my breath. Wonder what trouble is coming next. Hold on tight through this mess. Sing that song cause you sing it best. Nah, 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 nah. Hey, love it when you're spitting in my face. The way you scream when you're breaking all my things. I love it when you put me in my place. Don't ever leave me alone. If I said bad, $2 a bed. Never met with the red, but I never said die. Went to bed, ever gonna try. Learn the shit when your big ass smile. All my life, hold his breath. Struggled off visions of an early death. Hold on time through this mess. Sing that song cause you're singing it best. La 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 la. Hey, love it when you're spitting in my face. The way you scream when you're breaking all my things. Love it when you put me in my place. Don't ever leave me alone. Hey, love it when you rip my heart off. You hold my face and fucking I can see. Love it when you bring me to my knees. Don't ever leave me alone. Hold on to me. Hold on to me. Hold on to me. Hold on. I love it when you're spitting in my face. The way you scream when you're breaking all my things. I love it when you put me in my place. Don't ever leave me alone. Hey, love it when you rip my heart away. When you hold it in my face so I can see. Love it when you bring me to my knees. Don't ever leave me alone. Tony Khan, Monday Night Raw. The ratings are ticking up against the Olympics, baby. Raw's coming, Tony Khan.
he could have anything he wants. He could buy 100 houses or maybe restaurants. But he started a wrestling
I
company.
believe believe in Joe Cronin. Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Cronin. I said I believe in Joe Cronin.
100,000 views. Maybe Tony Khan should end himself. Maybe it's not worth the embarrassment, and
Maybe
if he must
Tony
keep
Khan
on pretending that it's awesome, he just might have to run away from it all. Maybe Tony Khan should end himself. Maybe Tony
Wednesday afternoon, we're live on a Wednesday afternoon with all you fine people. Very fine people. Stand back and stand by. All you very fine people. Hit that like button, more importantly. We are live, late on an afternoon that I did not expect to be live. But I am here.
Maybe Tony
Khan should end himself.
Maybe it's not worth the embarrassment, and if he must keep on pretending
Beautiful.
that it's awesome.
What a beautiful song that is. Is that not the most beautiful thing ever? It's been a crazy day today. It's been a weird morning. I want to thank people last night like Connor and Haystacks Monet. I want to thank Mr. Galligan. Mr. Galligan literally sent me coffee. Thank you, Mr. Galligan. Appreciate it. He's somebody who made a big sales deal the other day, and he knows about my show, and so I appreciate it, bro. Send me a Dunkin' Donuts gift package this morning. That's what brothers do, man. When you make a big sale, look at that. Sends me a big Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Yeah, I'm ready to go. But I'm glad to be here with you guys this morning.
Super chat.
Oh shit,
party.
Danny MT.
What up, Poopsie?
Yo!
Sorry I missed you Saturday. I'll see y'all soon. Stay 100.
Thank you, Danny MT. I know you missed the 12-year celebration. Unbelievable. But Danny, it is good to hear from you. Hope you're doing well, baby. You better stop by soon. We got to have you on again. Even if it's just for a few, to check in. Fucking legendary Danny MT. All the way back to remember when Tommy first introduced him to us by being like, I have a friend that wants to talk to you, Joe. Yeah, he's not too happy, and he's a fighter. Like, what an introduction that was. That was like an introduction of omniscient, like What? Oh my God! We just started! What the hell?
I want you to jam it in. Oh, it's in your bunghole.
I haven't said a damn word yet!
Oh, it's in your bunghole. I want it jammed in my bunghole. Oh, it's in your bunghole.
Audio Jungle.
You changed donations, you bish.
Wait, what? What are you talking about? Oh my God, man. Z-Pain coming in out of nowhere. Oh my God. I haven't said a damn word yet. Oh my God. Say his name. Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Cronin. Unbelievable Z-Pain. I did not change. What do you mean change donations, though? I don't know what that means.
About to drop $1,000, making it rain. Drop the donation train. All in the name of the king.
I did not change donations, though. I don't know what you mean. Let me know what you mean by that. I don't know what that means. Z-Pain, hit me up. Let me know what you mean by this. Oh, my God. Z-Pain. Oh, my God. Do we need that? Wow. Now I'm only negative $1 in the bank. Woo! Z-Pain. Hey, cheers, Z-Pain. Thank you so much, bro. Now I just got to get $5. I'm only negative $1 in the bank now. One more dollar. One more buck. That was 101 actually, but I'm still negative $1 in the bank, so. No, I'm at 0. No, that would put me at 0. Oh, there we go. You did it, Z-Pain. Just going to transfer that right now. Let me go transfer that right now. Let me go. Hold on a second. I have to go transfer that money legitimately right now. Hold on. Let me. Z-Pain, man. Thank you. What are you doing? Oh, my God. I haven't said barely a word this morning. Let me just transfer this money right now. Hold on a second. I think that puts me at negative 20 cents. Negative 20 cents. That's better, though, than negative 100. 101.50 something. Okay. PayPal transfer. PayPal transfer takes a couple of days, actually, though, so that's... The bank might call me, but let's see. Thank you so much, Z-Pain. Holy shit, bro. What the fuck out of nowhere? That was sitting there, too. He might have donated that last night, now that I look at it. That was loaded up in the cockpit there. Did you donate that last night, Z-Pain? He donated that last night. Bro, wow. Thank you, bro. Holy shit. Yeah, there's crazy shit going on. But anyway, the Raw rating is what we're going to focus on mainly here. I want to talk about because, dude, they're up against the Olympics, right? I mean, so, like, what? This is crazy. My water bill rolled into my mortgage. So my mortgage was $2,300 something. Now it's $26 something because my water bill rolled into it. So that's been my problem. So I had to pay my mortgage the other day, and I was off by $100 something bucks. But I just paid it, figured I'd have it eventually. So thank you, Z-Pain, for half making that come true. Oh, maybe I don't have the dono link up? Is that why you're saying that, Z-Pain? The donation, I didn't change the donations. I don't know what's up with, I don't know what's going on with that, but here's the donation link. It's still right here. Maybe I put the wrong one up, Z-Pain. I don't know. Z-Pain, you tell me, bro. You tell me what's up. So, yeah, the Raw ratings, this is really good. 1.7 million viewers. WrestleNomics. Like, wow. 1.7 million viewers. When you put it up against everything, I mean, that's, you know, with the Olympics being kind of where they are and everything, I would have thought that they would have had a tougher time, but they had so much energy going off of SummerSlam. So, like, listen, you expect the ratings to be up after SummerSlam, right? That's what you normally expect. But the WWE has taken a hit for a couple of reasons, and I'll explain why. And you guys can go look up the numbers. If you look up the numbers, this will back me up with what I'm saying over the history. Of course, the history of WWE. Every Monday night after SummerSlam, ratings are always normally inflated, higher than usual or whatever, because it's the night after the pay-per-view. Stuff happens on a Sunday night on a pay-per-view, and then everybody wants to tune in the next day on Raw because they're all hyped up. Last night this happened. Oh, my God, what's going to happen today? But when you put SummerSlam on a Saturday, there's a cool-down period. So what happens is people start to forget, or they get distracted, or they go, I forgot, or whatever, and because there's a day extra. So Saturday night, you're all like, wow, that was SummerSlam. Then the next day, you kind of cool down from it.
And then by Monday, you're kind of just like, okay, maybe I'm going to watch Raw tonight, I think, and that'll be interesting. But you're not as hyped. You're not as like, oh, what's going to happen? I'm going to get instant gratification from last night. What's going to happen? Now today we find out. Now you got to wait an extra day. And a lot of people's interest drops off a little bit. So WWE doesn't get as much impact on Raw after pay-per-view that they used to get. But even when WWE had switched, had still been Sunday nights, they were starting to see their first ever diminishing returns because the shows were so bad that people were like, yeah, I'm not going to watch. So the downward trend started when they started being terrible. And then when they added pay-per-views to Saturday nights instead, or PLEs to Saturday nights instead.
Come on out, you rapist!
Then it became just that it's just worse. So, for them to get a little bit higher of a rating this week is good. It means they're back to, the ratings go up a little bit after pay-per-view. But ideally, you'd like to see this rating at a 1.8, 1.9, or a 2 million. You would rather 2 million people. So it is lower than I would like, but it is higher, you can't deny. A. O'Donnell with the 55 months in a row as a member of the JCS Army membership, you sick bastard. A. O'Donnell, thank you so much, dude, for being a member again. And thanks to everybody who became a member over the last couple of weeks. Crossman Wrestling Joe, become our prime minister and return our freedom. Dude, it might come down to that at some point. I may have to start running for an office somewhere. I don't give a shit about all the things I've said or things I've done. I may have to run for some kind of office somewhere. I may have to save England and America and some of these other places too. I may have to run for office. You know what? My solution to all my problems are this. Why don't I help out my fellow mankind and help people out and then also make a living at the same time? Forget all this YouTube and forget all this, sales stuff that I'm doing. Let's go. Let's go make it. It might be time to make a difference soon. I never would have thought about that ever. I think it's time to do it. I think we could tear people apart based on their faulty merits and my beliefs. I think we could tear people a new one. England is in trouble. So is in America. The UK is fucking crazy. And there's a two-tier justice system in England. And what you're going to get is you're going to get a lot of people on every side hating each other when that needs to stop. It needs to be, you need to be properly policed. And it's pretty crazy, man. There is some crazy shit going on in the UK. What I've seen is crazy. People fighting back against terror are being treated like terrorists. That's what I'm seeing. Fighting back against terror in the UK will get you treated like a terrorist if you're white. Crazy. What's up, O'Donnell? Now that I'm 40 years old, I can be an old politician person. Plus, but you got to go back. You got to backtrack. We're not done here with the Raw stuff. So you look at the variables, right? There's so many variables to SummerSlam. It's the night after the night on Monday. It's the night after the night on Monday, and it's not on USA Network. It's on SCIFI Network. So it's just crazy, and they're up against the Olympics. So WWE Raw is the night after the night on a Monday night on SCIFI on the same night as the Olympics. So for that reason, the fact that the ratings ticked upward while being on a different channel up against the Olympics, but you do have the crutch of the go-home show, so they kind of landed where you would maybe expect. If there were no Olympics and there was and they hadn't changed channels, there is a very real possibility that SummerSlam the other night, or that the night after SummerSlam on Raw on USA Network, had it been on USA Network, would have drawn a 1.8, 1.9, or 2 million. They might have been able to draw 2 million people or 1.8 or 9 had it been on USA, not against the Olympics. Like, they probably would have done better. It's 100% that they would have done better. Whether that means better by 50,000 people or better by 300,000, I don't really know. But I think we can reasonably project at least 150,000 extra people would have joined in had that all not been that way. So And if you were to say, well, they're going to be on SCIFI and they're going to be up against the Olympics, you would say, well, they're going to lose viewership. But it's the night after, or the night after the night of the SummerSlam. Then you think, well, the ratings should probably be around the same. And they are, but they're up a little bit. So, I call that a win, I think that's a win. Pretty big stuff. By the way, guys, we've called him Back Down Janela for a long time. But it looks like we're going to be able to sit down very soon with the man who I accused of backing down a long time ago. And I'm talking about Joey. One Joey to another Joey. And we're going to get to the bottom of all that bullshit coming up pretty soon on this show. So stick around for that at some point. That'll be a lot of fun. Thank you to Z Payne for the 101 last night. Let me scroll back up. Crossman Wrestling, Joe become our prime minister. It's just so crazy in England right now. I can't believe it. It is in America too, but it's really weird what's happening everywhere. SmackDown ratings going up this Friday. Yeah, SmackDown ratings are already good, but they're going to go up probably. So, average viewership, when you look at it, it's pretty crazy. And I've been talking about this for years, but when you look at WrestleNomics' website, and you really can break it down, we talked about this. In 2020, Raw did a 2.2 million. Then they did a 1.8, 1.7, 1.7, 1.8, 1.7, 1.6, 1.77, 1.8, 1.6, 1.8, 86. Then they're back up to the 1.7. And that was all coming up from their lower points in 2019 when they were having trouble as well. NXT has stayed fairly similar for the most part. NXT was, started around 700,000, and they currently sit around 600,000. And they bounce up from 6 to 7 to 6 to 7. So you really get a stability there with NXT of advertisers and the channel and the network. They know exactly what they're going to get, with a lot of these, really. But when you look at, you look at SmackDown, and, when you can say 4 years ago SmackDown was at 2.4 million, and you look at SmackDown in like 2 years ago and they were at 2.2 million, and you look at SmackDown now and they're at 2.2 million. It's like there's a lot of stability in the WWE ratings and the viewership. So you are really able to deliver a clear and concise rating for WWE. You can see by this list that you are able to SmackDown. That you're clearly going to get 2 million to 2.3 million people watching that show. You're going to get that if you're an advertiser. If you're an advertiser with Raw, you pretty much know you're going to get 1.6 to 2 million, somewhere in there, maybe, but the average is 1.7 million. So you're really pretty sure about Raw as well. And when you look at NXT, you're going to get somewhere between 600,000 and 700,000 viewers. You're pretty certain about those numbers as well. However, this is when things start to change, is when you look at the volatility of AEW, who not only is volatile, but on a downward trend. This is crazy. AEW is on the downward trend the WWE was on back in 2018, 19, and 20. AEW Rampage has trended downward. AEW Rampage loses 25,000 viewers every quarter. They started out in 2021 with 700,000. The fourth quarter was the real quarter, and that was 500,000. Their third quarter in 2022 was below 500,000, 400,000, and by the second quarter of 2023, they were dropping below 400,000. And now they sit at an average of 289,000 viewers for AEW Rampage. So 280,000 people watch Rampage, and then Dynamite is the only really somewhat stable but still volatile show for AEW. AEW Dynamite, started at 800,000 and it flirted with 1 million, and then it trended down 900,000, 1,900,000, 800,000, 700,000. And now AEW Dynamite is about 750,000 average viewed. They have a little bit more volatility, but they are the most secure show and the most steady show confidence-wise for advertisers. You can tell advertisers pretty much they're guaranteed 700,000 views and then whatever the social media viewership is. But AEW Collision is also on a downward spiral. They're on a collision course. 700 to 500 to 400 to 300,000 viewers and dropping here in quarter 3, probably to about 350 to 380, so you can expect that to drop down even further. So in my opinion, pretty soon, if I was AEW, you'd be looking to cut Collision and Rampage, but if the advertising is there still for 200, 300,000 people, then I guess it's going to still be there. If it's still programming the network wants, then they're still going to get it, I guess. But the instability of AEW versus the stability of WWE is very apparent. Very apparent. And very strange. Jakey's in the chat. What up, Jakey? Liv Morgan will elevate everyone in the new Judgment Day. She's not going to elevate anyone in the ring, I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that. But yeah, if you guys got questions, drop it in the chat. Drop a dono, drop it in the chat, super chat, regular chat, whatever you want to do. I'm here for a couple more minutes, and then I'm probably going to take off, I guess. Into the night, into the day. I'm going to go hold up a 7-Eleven. The fuck is my son upstairs yelling about? Sounds like a nutcase. The hell, what are you yelling about, Finn? Jesus. Raw-tarded Sammy and Jay for... Yeah, they're coming. They're definitely coming to the bloodline. Or to the Roman bloodline. What up, B-Man? 1.7 million on SCIFI. Keep a note of that. It says Thomas Gators. Yeah, it's pretty crazy that they did that on SCIFI. That's the crazy part. That is such a good number for them. I mean, I know they should have been up anyway. But just so good. What's up? What's up, Omar? Danielson versus Jarrett for the title should have headlined All In 6-week build-up. That would have been really cool, man. Oh, man. Imagine Jeff Jarrett versus Bryan Danielson in an opening match at All In. Oh, man, I think it would be good. I think they could have a pretty good match. I mean, Jeff Jarrett is, obviously winding down to some of the last matches maybe ever of his career, but he can still do stuff. Jeff Jarrett can still do things. It's crazy. He can still go out there and do it. I've seen him do it. I mean, he might be slowing down more now, but a couple of years, that build-up a couple of years ago he had with a couple of people, he did. I loved it. Jeff Jarrett is still so good at that. He's just naturally kind of scary. It's funny because when Jeff Jarrett turns it off, he comes across like just a sweetheart of a guy. Like, it's so weird. when I've met Jeff Jarrett a couple of different times, and one time, the first time I talked to him, he was kind of joking around with me, and then and I was like, oh shit, like he's a guy that can turn that on, make you think he's dead serious and scary, and then all of a sudden he's a puppy dog. The guy is really, it's crazy that we grew up watching him. Like, I mean, I was 11 years old or 10 years old. I was 10 years old when Jeff Jarrett debuted in the WWE. I think I was 10. And I remember thinking it was such a good, I remember thinking at the time, like, I wasn't thinking about wrestling the way we think about wrestling now. I was still kind of thinking about it like for real. I was taking it seriously like it was real. I kind of knew it wasn't, but I took it seriously like it was real. And I remember thinking, like, this guy's like the new Shawn Michaels or something, you know, like, because Shawn Michaels is kind of, you know, starting to go for the world title and whatever. And Jeff Jarrett really sold, and I really liked him and everything, but I didn't think he was I didn't like him as much as Shawn, but I did like boo him like a heel, but he was just fun to watch. There's something about him I knew as a kid, like, fun to watch him wrestle. That's the only way to explain it. Like, you're booing him, he's the bad guy, and you're cheering for, like, Razor Ramon and stuff, but there's something fun about watching him. But all that stuff sits in the back of your mind and the end of your head as you just sort of watch it, like it's like you're really, like, as a fan. You're not thinking about wrestling like, oh, who's booked what way, and this guy is like that guy, and here's what they're going to... It's just, it's funny to think about how, you know, you almost miss the days when you used to watch wrestling the way you did versus nowadays where everybody nitpicks everything to death, and we nitpick the behind the scenes, the reality, who should have been this, that, and the other thing. It's always so weird. Like, I don't even love doing it with shows. I never got that. Like, a lot of people do this with TV shows. Like, the TV show's over, and then they sit around talking about how, like, they should have had Michael fall in love with Billy, and I thought Gwyneth was going to be the murderer. You know, and it's like, I don't really do that with, I feel like, with anything but wrestling. I don't sit around and review and critique shows and movies that much. I feel like. Maybe I do, but if I do it, it usually means I didn't like it. Do you know what I mean? Like, usually if I'm sitting around critiquing what could have been this, that, and the other thing, usually that means that I didn't like it. You know, but wrestling is one of the only things where it's like, whether I like it, don't like it, or whatever, I'm going to sit around and talk about all the possibilities. I don't know why. But with other things, it's like I don't really do that. Like when I loved... It's like when I watched Star Trek, it's like the new Star Trek, and it's terrible. I rant about how terrible it is and why, and I rant about how they could have done this, that, and the other thing. But when I watched Picard season 3, and that was actually good because Terry Matalas wrote that season. Yeah, I mean, I guess I did some like second guessing and wondering, but like, and it was fun to do it. But they were doing such great stuff in the show that I remember on my reviews, so many times on my reviews, I would say, I couldn't have done that better, or I would have never thought of that, or they did that so well, like I would have done this and that would have been not good. Like, this was so good. And so, like, that's the closest I've ever gotten to that recently, I feel like. And instead, the whole review is just me talking about how, man, I had this idea and I think that's good, but they did this, and that's even, wow, like, thank God I wasn't in charge. And that is so great when you can say that. When you're like, I think my ideas were decent, and I think we all had a good idea of what could be done, but then they went a step further and thought about stuff that I didn't think about at all. That is the sign of, you know, greatness, right? And so that's how I feel about some of the stuff that they did in Picard season 3, and so I was able to talk about it like that. And that's what I want in wrestling, too. I want to be like, oh, I think I know better, but then when they do something, it's so good that, oh, wow. Like, I mean, I had some ideas, but they really got me. Like, I'm really into this. And that's how good they have to be. That's crazy, though. They didn't have to used to be that good. They didn't used to have to be that good in wrestling. You know, they just had to do whatever they did, and simple things would please you and keep you entertained and keep you watching, and, oh, what's going to happen next week? But nowadays, they have to be so above and beyond. And when they're not, it's so visible. it's so visible that they're not doing well, or they're not doing good enough, or they're not doing enough, because we're sitting here bored, coming up with so many ideas and so many things and what you want to see and whatever. And there's these expectations that honestly might be impossible to live up to, a lot of people's expectations a lot of times. And that's why it's good to, it's hard. You almost wish people could tone down their expectations, but people are wild. Joe Bishop, you beast. But, man, what great ratings for Raw. This is such good news for them. Great news for WWE Raw. Say his name. But, yeah, I should probably head out and start get out there. I should hit the streets. I gotta get in my wife's dress and hit the streets and give out some hand jobs, people. So I'm gonna be on my way out of here to give out the hand jobs to the Foxborough folk and some of the other Massachusetts natives out there. They're out there thirsty too. There's an article, is the Boston water colder this year? What? I mean, isn't it hotter out? Shouldn't everything be hotter? Do you know? I don't know. I was looking for this clip, but God, I can't find it. I don't know, but I would refer, as far as Damian Priest, I would refer to my comments that I made about him the other day as far as his promo goes, and listen to what I said about his promo, and that pretty much sums it up. As far as, Damian Priest goes, he's not very good, as far as promos. And when you add everything else together, too, it's just not good. It's not great. So that's basically the way I feel about, Damian Priest. It's not very good. So this is a good sign for WWE, though, with the ratings being, 1.7 million again, to be on SCIFI Network the day after the show on a different network. The ratings still went up a little bit. That's good news. But again, I feel like SummerSlam, the Raw after SummerSlam, they could have done 1.9 million. Or 2 million maybe, if there was no Olympics and they had not changed networks. So it's too bad that happened, because they would have had that spike, and this is never going to reflect properly on, the impact, that they had. So that's the problem. Just be glad Disney hasn't purchased Star Trek. Yeah, but what's the difference? Dude, the people that own Star Trek right now have ruined Star Trek, so what's the difference? Disney couldn't do much worse than what Paramount has done and J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot Skydance has done to Star Trek. They've destroyed Star Trek. The Star Trek Discovery is terrible. And Star Trek Strange New Worlds is like an SNL skit. And now they're coming out with all these new ones that are terrible. And the only one that did Star Trek right is Terry Matalas. And they refused to sign Terry Matalas to do more Star Trek. And now Terry Matalas has been signed by Marvel. And Terry Matalas is doing Marvel. So he's going to be doing the I forget what show he's going to be doing, but the one with Vision. Terry Matalas is going to be in charge of Vision. And Terry Matalas is a genius. 12 Monkeys is amazing. He's got a crazy writing staff. Star Trek Picard Season 3 is really good. And everything Paramount has made is trash. And the one guy who did it right, who knows Star Trek, is gone. And Marvel got him. Because Marvel reached out to him and they said, we saw what you did with Season 3 of Star Trek Picard. We're big fans. Would you want to work on a Marvel series? And then they paid him. He got paid. He's going to get paid a shitload, which thank God. Because on Star Trek, he was kind of handed it like, yeah, you're not going to get paid much, but do you want to write Season 3 of Picard? And then he was like, oh my God, that's a dream. You know, it's not even about the money. It's about, I'm the biggest fan of this. I'm going to write something amazing. And then he does. But the real payday is probably right now with Marvel. So good for Terry Matalas. And he's such a good guy. He's been such a good guy to me. He's been great to so many people. And he's smart and he loves this stuff. He's a nerd like a lot of us. And he knows the lore of things and he cares. And my God, he's a real writer with a real writing staff of people. It's just it's going to be good. If you're a Marvel fan, you're going to want to watch the Vision series. So if you're a Marvel fan and you're wondering what Vision's going to be like, even if you don't like Vision really, because I never cared that much. I'm not a big Vision. I don't care about that story really. But I'm going to watch it just because Terry Matalas is writing it, or putting it together. I'm sure, he's adapting a lot of things because a lot of the writing is already there for it. But the guy just knows how to tell stories. The Pathfinder says, I recently binged all the Star Trek movies I hadn't seen. Joe, what is the most and least favorite Star Trek films? I'm going to tell you something. I like all the Star Trek films, no matter what they are. I think I like them all. But the new ones, the new J.J. Abrams movies are not really Star Trek. They're like action in space Star Trek. And, of course, they take place during a parallel timeline, so they're not real anyway. So the new J.J. Abrams movies are like fun, stupid popcorn movie Star Trek, but they're not real. I think my favorite Star Trek movies are Wrath of Khan, which is Star Trek 2. Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country, is maybe my favorite or second favorite of the original series movies. And then it's probably Star Trek 4, the whale one, where they have to go back in time to get the whales. It's hilarious. And then of the Next Generation, it's probably Star Trek First Contact and Star Trek Generations. I like Generations, even though see, you have to understand that the Star Trek doesn't make good movies. Star Trek's TV shows are good. The movies have always been like, they're good. I like them, but they're like, the Next Generation TV show is like a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 show. But Star Trek The Next Generation movies are like 7 out of 10s. But the original series movies are good. So if you can't deal with the old original series Kirk, campy, goofy 60s TV show, then watch the movies at least, because the movies are much better from the 80s and they're more modern, I guess. But like I would say it's like Star Trek 2, Star Trek 6, probably 264, and then First Contact, Generations. I like Nemesis. People don't like it, but I do. And then maybe like J.J. Abrams' 2009 Star Trek is all right. But, yeah, I don't really... it's hard to put them all in order. But then I'd probably say Star Trek... then Star Trek the motion picture, then Star Trek 3, Search for Spock, then Star Trek 5, then Star Trek Insurrection. What's the worst Star Trek movie? Probably the worst Star Trek movie is probably between Star Trek 5, The Undiscovered Country, and not The Undiscovered Country, the God one. Star Trek 5. Star Trek 5 and Star Trek Into Darkness. Probably the worst Star Treks. The new J.J. Abrams Into Darkness is so bad. They have Spock acting like a nutcase. Like, it's just a fucking... It looks like it's... Like, the trailer's really good. Like, if you watch the trailer, it's so cool and dark and whatever, but then it's just fucking it's retarded. But yeah, Star Trek movies from the 80s and 90s, you can't go wrong. Star Trek did not copy Star Wars because Star Trek came out before Star Wars. So, William, you're fucking retarded. You know. So Star Trek did 3 seasons, and then Star Wars came out, and then basically, because Star Wars came out, Paramount was like, damn, the Star Wars shit is huge, and all the movie studios were looking for anything with star and space, and trying to find anything they had that was like starships and star space and whatever, because Star Wars blew up so massively, and Paramount was like, we got Star Trek. This thing, Star Trek. That's why the Star Trek movies got made. So the Star Trek movies, you better not fuck around, William. You'll freak me out, bro. Don't fuck with me in Star Trek and Star Wars, William. But like, so Star Trek, without Star Wars, if Star Trek doesn't happen, then Star Wars doesn't happen after that, and Star Wars doesn't happen, then we don't get Star Trek. Think about that. It's fucking crazy.
I've been going to wrestling shows for over 30 years. Never in all that time have I ever felt, until last Sunday, that my
ShitBomb?
security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
08 to 09 Jeff Hardy or last 2 years of Cody?
I'd take the last couple of years of Cody. I gotta be honest, ShitBomb. Hey, $3. Oh my God, I'm going to be positive in my bank account. ShitBomb, thank you so much. Guys, I'm going to be $2 plus $2 in my bank account. Yes. Oh my God, ShitBomb, thank you. I'm glad I stayed on now. Hold on, I'm going to go transfer that money right now. Hold on. Oh shit, ShitBomb. My bank is going to be so happy. They're probably getting ready to call me. You know you're negative in the bank. Hold on, ShitBomb, thank you for that $3, bro. That was huge. Holy shit. Holy shit. Thank you, ShitBomb. Oh my God, I'm plus in the bank. Plus $2. Holy fuck. This morning I was negative 100 something. Thank you, Z Payne. Until tomorrow when the internet bill comes out. Shit. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much, man. ShitBomb. Yep, I'm picking Cody, man. I'm picking Cody. Thank you. I've been gifted Dunkin' Donuts, too. Look at that. I'm gonna put Leah's panties on eBay. The Dune franchise. I liked the Dune, the original movie Dune, like a little bit, and I watched it a couple of times when I was younger, and I watched it a couple of years ago in preparation for the new one coming out. So I kind of like Dune, but I I like it and I watch it, but it doesn't make me feel good. You know, I feel kind of crappy after it, but it looks beautiful. It's kind of fun to watch. But I'm not into it that much because in Dune, it's sort of like an isolated Star Trek story, but it's in a universe that's kind of like dark and bad. And I just think like, oh, that's kind of like what we deal with now, but it's space. So I think like, so I don't get as excited about Dune, but I do.
Hey, Bullfrog is
like
a moron.
Scissor me, Joe!
ShitBomb, thank you for the $3. Yeah. Dune, ShitBomb, thank you. Now I'm positive $6 in the bank. Or $5? I don't know. I'm positive something. Thank you, bro. Thank you so much, ShitBomb. I don't know who you are, ShitBomb, but thank you very much, man. That's fucking crazy. Thank you so much, dude. That stops my bank from getting canceled in 3 days, so which would fuck my whole life up. So thank you. That's very cool of you, man. Thank you. Do you like the Goonies? Yeah, I've always liked the Goonies. Remember, the Dune, the book series on Dune is really, really good if you like books. I don't read it because I don't read shit, but I want to read, but I can't because I'm retarded.
Take a look around Hillary and see everyone loves me.
Oh shit!
Take a look around
oh my god!
Hillary and see
oh my god, Joe Bishop!
everyone loves me. Take a look around Hillary and see everyone loves me. Took a long look along. Everyone loves the dawn.
Wow, Joe Bishop!
Hillary. Everyone loves me. Take a look around Hillary and see.
Nothing much but something for your spoiled kids. Much love.
Joe Bishop. Oh my god, the spoiled kids. Thank you, Joe Bishop. Yeah, at some point they probably are going to ask me for like $5 in Roblox or something. So, thank you. Maybe. I mean, I really shouldn't even do that, but maybe I'll give them a couple of bucks and we'll act like I got money. You tell the kids, yeah, Dad, you guys want $2 in Roblox? Everything's okay. You know. I disagree though. I say if my power gets turned off, I say fuck it. I think it's a learning lesson. You know what I mean? I think it's one of those things where it's like, you know what? I told you. You better work hard or you could have the power can go off, guys. You know, so I think that's not bad. I think it's okay to like let the power go off a couple of times to scare the kids. People are like, "Oh, I'd never tell my kids that I'd never." Like, what are you talking? Why? So you want them to believe that this is just magic? It's all magic. Nah, bro. Let a couple of power outages happen. I say let it happen. You know what I mean? So I'm not even worried. So on the downside, if shit goes out or shit goes down or the internet or something, whatever comes first, that happens, yeah, that sucks and it's going to suck and everybody's going to be annoyed and whatever else. But the second thing that's good about it is you see? But you know, with kids, it's all or nothing. When that stuff happens, they start going, oh my God, we're poor. But it's like, no, we're not. We're in a fucking house. Like, you know who's poor is someone sleeping in the street right now. That's who's poor. You know, but like you got to let it happen. You got to let them, you know, suffer a little bit. Like, you want to see some shit? You want to go to Gaza? You want to see that shit? You know, they're like, I'm like, you know, it's a little bit of scaring them a little bit. I think is good. I think scare them a little bit. You know, scare them just a bit. Just wait till Gavin asks for a car. Good. Dude, when my son asks for a car, it's going to be great because I'm going to be like, yeah, how you going to pay for it? I'm going to be like, go get a job first. I'll make him get a job first. Go get a job, working at the supermarket, save your money, and, you know, eventually if he has like $500 to $800 saved, okay, now I'll help you get a car if I can. You know, if I can do that. I bet I got a lot. I have a lot to listen, dude. I have a lot of work to do right now before somebody ever getting a car. You know what I mean? I got a lot of work to do. I got my car is from 2013. It's starting to be a little weird. Leah's new car that we just got her a little while back, new truck, is not a new truck. It's 2012 as well. So I think it's more of we'll just have the family. Like you can take mom's car. I don't think my kids are gonna get cars. They're gonna get mom's car. You know what I mean? Because I'll have mine for work, and then they'll have the other car. So it's like whoever needs to go out. You need to fucking fill out a schedule. Who gets to take the car? You know what I mean? Remember in Back to the Future, Marty McFly? He's waiting for the car to go up to the lake, and then Biff crashes the car. That's the reality. I want to borrow the car for the weekend. That's the reality. Is there's one car. The dream is like when he opens up the garage and he has his own truck for some reason. That ain't happening. Although I am thinking that if we do go to World War, that the U.S. government might have some incentives that make it worth it, because nobody's going to want to go to war, really, in America. They're going to have to blow up things to make us angry to go to war. My theory is that they're going to try to kill Trump again. They're going to try to kill Trump again and they're going to say Iran did it. They're going to say an Iran assassinator killed Trump. And then literally they're going to kill Trump, and then you're going to have Kamala Harris and her VP are going to be telling the American people, like, they killed our former president. And this will not, and we're going to go to war, and they're going to be like, we won't stand for this. And that way they'll have all of America angry that they killed, that this guy assassinated Trump. So they'll have all these people on board. So I would say probably look for that. Because otherwise nobody's going to want to go to war with Iran or anybody. We don't want to go to war. The last time they wanted to go to war, they had to blow up the Twin Towers to get us to go. And they wanted to blow up Florida so we could go to war with Cuba and take over Cuba. And JFK said no, and then he was dead a few months later. So it's like this is an ongoing thing throughout our history. Gulf of Tonkin. There's so many... okay, let's blow ourselves up so we can go start a war. Let's false flag it so we can start a war. Hitler false flagged his own Congress building or whatever. Hitler did it. Hitler blew up his own capital. That's what's going to happen. And they're going to, and the U.S. government is going to say, hey, if you sign up for the war, your family, your household gets this. And you're going to get, because we have endless money that we could give out to anybody for any reason, for anything. And since we now know that we have that and that money isn't really real, although we kind of knew that, but now we really have seen it in action, they're just going to hand out money to all you guys. And they're going to give probably bonus money to minorities and people like that for fighting in the war, which is even more sinister because it gets people of color and minorities to sign up in larger amounts, and it's going to less incentivize white people to sign up, but still incentivize the poor white people. So it's going to incentivize lots of poor people or people in a jam to sign up for the military to feed their families or to have a house. It's not even to feed your family, it's to have a house. You want a house? Oh, the government will pay 50% or all of it or whatever, or give you, whatever it is, dude. They're going to do crazy shit to get you to go to war when they false flag attack something and then say it was Iran or anybody. So look for that. That's what I think. Between Israel and Iran, bro, you guys figure it out. I don't want nothing to do with it. You guys want to play, if, Gaza and Hezbollah and Iran and them want to attack Israel, and Israel wants to attack back and do the crazy, full-on genocide, that's on you guys in the Middle East. I don't want nothing to do with that. Fuck you. It's all terrible to me. None of it's good. And little kids are suffering because of it that don't know any better. They're all innocent civilians in Israel, innocent women and children and men, but especially the children. It's awful to see. And so I want nothing to do with any of that shit. I want nothing to do with any of it. Don't sign me up for that. I ain't helping nobody. They've been doing that forever, and they'll never stop. It will never end, and I don't want nothing to do with it. Keep me away from that. I'm really rambling now. But yeah, we don't really want war here, so we all want to like earn a living and be successful and have a good time and raise our families in America. That's what we want to do. We don't want to go through all that shit. But I mean, I have a 14-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 10-year-old. Like I don't want them going to nothing. So that'll be crazy. Dune 2 felt like a perfect movie. Yeah. Yeah, dude, the Dune movies are so good. They're so good. It's like that. They're so good that going back to the Dune thing, Dune is so good that even though I don't love the Dune universe really and everything, as a standalone movie, I've always enjoyed it. I always enjoyed, the first Dune, and now I enjoyed the remake of Dune Part 1 and 2. Although one was a little bit like more slow and whatever. And then Dune 2 was really good. So how often do you see Part 1 and then Part 2 is awesome? It's like crazier. It's almost like Harry Potter, Part 1 and 2 of Deathly Hallows. But I don't know, dude. It was really good. It was really good. Dune was great. For sure, Jack. That's crazy. We already did the Wrestling Muhammad. I pretty much already did the Wrestling Muhammad. I really just talked about ratings. But yeah, I just hope that hopefully England, everybody can relax everywhere, man, because we should all be together and be good and love each other and shit. And, we got to be careful. And you got to stand up for each other, too, like everybody. It's crazy. Dude, where's my car? Dude, where's my Dune? Okay, guys, listen, I'm going to take off. Thanks for being here. Joe Bishop's going to watch Star Trek for the first time. It's really hard to tell you where to start with Star Trek. Joe, I feel like I'd have to, talk to you. Star Trek is hard to figure out where to start. I don't know what type of movies you like either and how old you are. But I don't know where to start. Maybe watch a little bit of everything. Maybe go back and watch one episode of the original series and then watch one episode of The Next Generation. And then maybe after that, watch a Star Trek movie. But I don't know, man. I guess I'd just start with the original. I started with The Next Generation. Star Trek The Next Generation is my favorite Star Trek. 1987 to 1993. Star Trek The Next Generation is my favorite. But seasons 1 and season 2 are a little bit goofier and hokier. They hadn't figured everything out, and it's a little bit more like the original series. But Star Trek The Next Generation starts getting really good in season 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7. But still, you have to watch season 1 and 2. Still, there's some really good episodes in those still. So I don't know where to start you, but sometimes people would start watching it and probably think it was boring, but you just have to watch it. And I think it's hard to say because I'm so nostalgic for it, watching it since I was a kid, that I love it. And I love Picard. I mean, Patrick Stewart. I love Captain Picard. I don't like the Picard show. But that's about it. I'll catch you guys later. Thank you. I'll see you maybe tonight, maybe. I don't know. Whew.